there, because if you're going to run a deep post, you ordinarily have to get a safety out of the middle of the field. And you do it one of two ways. Either by running routes at him that carries him away from it, or you either freeze him in the middle with routes that run underneath so that he doesn't get depth. Then you throw it over the top, and boy, what a successful play that was.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. They run it with Balaj. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Another example of just a dominant performance by this defense.
Yeah, you hear all the time about teams that try to steal signals from the other side and try and learn their signs and their tendencies. It's almost like they get the answers to the exam the night before and were well prepared for this final.
Here's Matt Hawk now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Here's Jones on the return. Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room. There he goes left side. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Talk about flipping the script. That punt return 86 yards as his guys continue to pour it on.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. Tucker with the extra point, and that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Fitzpatrick now. And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a first down.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now Fitzpatrick hit. It's out. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. 3rd and long for Ryan Fitzpatrick. On the right side, open is Gesicki. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
A terrific return there, 27 yards all told. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. Throwing on 2nd and 3, Jackson. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. From the gun, Fitzpatrick. And that is incomplete. Another wayward pass. Things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Jones on the return. So a change of possession here on the punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Buying time to his left. The quick feet by Jackson. Down the numbers. There he goes. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. 1 play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. And the Dolphins are going to recover. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Looking to throw again on second down. Fitzpatrick. The line to gain is the 33 on third down. Working out of the gun, Fitzpatrick. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete.
Let's go, fellas.
So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when